Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I have neglected my chisels for a while. I haven't been keeping them as sharp as I should. You get in a hurry, you're working, and you just kind of keep plowing through the day, and you forget to stop and do the things that are so important to woodworking, which is keeping your tools sharp. Not everybody forgets this, but I'm one of those guys. And I tend to just use my tools and use them and kind of half-ass sharpen them until I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I really need to tighten up now. And now that I've got my shop set up the way I like it, and do the chisels the way I want them to be. So let me move the camera real quick because it's a little awkward angle here, and I'm gonna show you how I sharpen chisels. Now there's a bunch of different ways to do this. I'm not inventing anything new here. I'm just showing you the way I was taught how to do it. It works extremely well. It's fast and it works, and you can get back to work. You don't have to spend a whole day working on your sharpening. So I'm gonna move the camera back a little bit and we'll get started, okay? So hang tight. So as you know, we're working on some acoustics, and we have the bracing glued into the bottom of the Ramirez, okay? And we need to work on these edges here. We'll do that with a plane. And we also need to scoot those out here and there. I roughed it out on the bandsaw, but you need a good sharp chisel to do it correctly. You know, to get that scoop in there and to take out your excess material and get these braces the way you want them, nice and clean, and the tone the way you want it to be. So I use these chisels, Marple's chisels, and some other ones that I bought in yard sales over the years that I happen to, I happen to get lucky and find some really nice chisels for very cheap, and I just kind of refurbished them and made them work. Chisel's all about steel. If it doesn't have good steel in it, it doesn't matter what the handle's made out of. It doesn't matter who made it. It doesn't matter what kind of cool case it comes in. None of that matters. If it doesn't have good steel in it, it's useless as a chisel, unless you're just, I don't know, scraping gum off the sidewalk. If you want something that really cuts and cuts well and do really nice fine work with, it's gotta have good steel in it. And it's gotta be flat on the back. This chisel here, I've had for a long time, and the hollow grind has just about gone on it. Now what I mean by hollow grind is, if you sharpen your chisels using a wheel, obviously that wheel is gonna leave the shape of itself in the grind of your chisels when you grind your chisels. When you get to the point where your hollow grind is gone, it makes it a little more difficult to sharpen and to keep sharp. You can do it that way, and a lot of people don't even use a hollow grind sharpening system. I do. I like hollow grind sharpening systems. It makes them easy to bring back into sharpen when they get dull, because you don't have a lot of steel to try to deal with on your stone as you're honing your chisels. So I use a hollow grind. And I started doing this one, and you can see the hollow was gone on this as well. And I've let this chisel get a little out of shape, and I'm kind of ashamed of that, because I used to be kind of freaky about the way I kept my tools. And over the years, I've let them get a little slack. I don't see any reason to be like that anymore. I've decided I'm going to get my stuff back together the way it's supposed to be. So long story short, I need to put some grinds on some chisels. I'm going to show you how I do it. It's a really simple way to do it. I have a nice grinder buffer here with just a simple aluminum oxide wheel on it. I've got the angle set that I like here. I've got a little thing of water over here, so if things start getting hot, I can, once in a while just dip the end of the chisel into the water. You do not want your chisel to get hot and turn blue. You're taking the temper out of the steel when you do that. You do not want to do that. The person that made this piece of steel went through a lot of trouble to get it tempered properly. And if you take the temper out of it, you make it weak. So what we're going to do in a hollow grind, I'm just going to turn this on. I'm going to hold my hand here and use it as a guide. I'll show you how I do it. I just ease up to the chisel, to the grinder, and I use my finger like that as a guide. Okay, and I just keep taking a little at a time. Back and forth. And the way I tough to do it. Let's just take a little at a time. Make sure you keep going back and forth across the wheel. Like that. And you can see how the grind starts to progress up the chisel. And this is what we're trying to do here, get that hollow grind in. And we're going to keep doing that until sparks start to fly across the top of the chisel. As soon as sparks fly across the top of the chisel, the top edge, you see little sparks coming over, that means you're at the end of the steel and you don't need to go any further. Then it's time to hone it. Stop every now and then, dip your chisel in some water so it doesn't get too hot. Make sure you can touch it. If you can't touch it, it's too hot. And we just go back to the wheel and take some more. It doesn't take very long. You got a good clean wheel. You're keeping your finger here as a guide. We're getting close now. See, that's a nice clean grind, nice and straight, because I'm keeping my finger in that exact same spot. We're almost to the top. All right. Remember, keep it cool. Don't let it get hot. And keep your finger in the same spot. Don't move it, even if it starts to cramp up, like mine's doing right now. Because you need to keep it the angle the same. Keep it moving properly. We're almost there where the sparks will start to come over the top edge. Okay, you see, we're getting close. A little bit over on this edge here, right there, where it's not quite up yet. We're almost there though. When we get to that very edge, we stop. See the spark coming across the top? And I can feel the heat getting hot. I keep my thumb right here. If it gets to the point where it starts to burn my thumb, you dip it in the water. Do not let your chisel get too hot. I can't stress that enough. Keep it cooled down. When you can feel a wire edge forming on the back, you've gone far enough. And you can see it. I'm almost there, but not quite. Right? Almost. Oh yeah, we're there now. Couple more. Almost too hot. That burned my finger. Okay, I can feel the wire edge all the way across the back side now. See that? That's what we're looking for. Now we got a good hollow grind in there. Now I can work on the back with a whetstone, and then I can hone the edge. And it'll be a lot easier to do. I'm going to go ahead and do this one while I got the grinder in place, and then we'll get out the whetstones and we'll hone them up. We'll get them right. Got a diamond stone here, ultra fine or super fine or whatever fine it is. And I'm going to use that to do the back. I'm just going to put a little bit of water on there just to keep it moving and not, so it doesn't load up. And clean water. And then we can hit the back. Want the back of your chisel to be nice and flat. That right there is from leaving glue stuck to it. That is not cool. Your chisel's got to be absolutely flat on the back to get a really super sharp edge. You'll notice Japanese chisels have hollow spots in the back that makes it easier to flatten the back. Okay, now that's already really sharp. I don't want to say super again because it's dumb. That's already really sharp. And all I've done is just taken the wire edge off. I'm going to hit it a couple more times here with that. And then we'll hone it. And I'll show you a little trick that makes getting a really nice fine edge very fast. Not that everything has to be done fast, but when you're trying to get work done, the faster you can do something, the more you can get done. I think everybody can agree with that. All right, now we do figure eights. Put our finger up here, find where it stops rocking, and do figure eights. And now you're starting to hone the edge. Because all you have to hone is that area across there. You see the difference in the part that's ground and the part that's starting to be honed? Starting to get that little wire edge again. Some people use guides to do this with. You can do that. I've just found that the figure eight works pretty good for me. Try to hold your hand as stiff as you can. Starting to hone that edge now. Almost there. Now is when I go, try to keep it straight and go straight across. That's pretty darn sharp. Hit the back again. And this is with one stone, a superfine diamond plate. It's pretty darn sharp. Yeah. It'll cut the hair off the back of my hand now already. Nice and clean on the back. Still got a little stain in the steel, and that edge is beginning to be honed. You can see the wire edge coming up. Now, we can go a little further with the stone. Doing an abbreviated version for you guys, so I don't eat up a lot of your time on these videos. Okay, now that is becoming really amazingly sharp already. Quick way to hone that now, to make it even sharper than it is. I mean, it's already taking off nice shavings. Hone that up even further. Buffing wheel with some ridge on it. Good way to clean the back of your chisels also. Now it's just ridiculously sharp. You see how it cuts right through there. Okay, that's a sharp chisel, guys. You see that? That's a sharp chisel. All right, take that even further, refine it more, and you got something that's really amazing. Okay? A real quick rundown on how to sharpen a chisel. I hope this helps you out. You can go even further. Get a chisel guide. I'll probably get one too, because why not do it even better? I learned how to do this the quick way when I'm working out in the field. Always had a stone with me, so I could just put a little spit or water or whatever on it, man, and do the quick V8, not V8, but shape of an 8 on the stone. And it kind of kept you even as you were going back and forth. And then make sure your back is flat. And then, man, if you got a hone, a buffing wheel like that you can keep dedicated to that, and just use it on the back and the front. And if you keep this chisel in good shape and you don't drop it and put little dings in it and stuff, you can hone it really quickly and bring it right back up with just the buffing wheel. Okay? So there you go, guys. Hollow ground chisel, just a quick hone on a stone, man. You saw how fast I did that. And you can go a lot farther into it than that. Obviously, if you really want to, you don't really need to, but you can. I mean, you can see how well that cut with just that quick honing and buffing. I hope this helps you guys. Try it out. Sharpen your chisels. Get your stuff right. I'm going to spend a couple of, not days, but a couple hours, a day or two here and there. Let me get all my chisels back to the point where when you pick one up, you're ready to go to war. All right? I'll see you guys out there somewhere. Peace. Be good to each other out there. Get out there and support your bands and bars. All right? I'm going to show you a little more of this build here coming up. We got a bunch of great electric guitars coming up. Man, we got stuff going on. Closed. Dead battery sign just came up. Sorry. So I got to go. We'll see you guys. Be good to each other out there. We'll see you somewhere. Work guitars. Bye now.